that they may use proof. Prove that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to what? 1. What this one is saying is that anywhere I solve sine square theta plus cos square theta, maybe my final answer will give me what? 1. How will I solve sine square theta plus cos square theta? Maybe my final answer will give me what? 1. Remember the first question I solved, I used opposite and what? Hypotenuse. But here I want to use what? Alphabet. Now, student, this is sine theta. What is your sine theta in alphabet there? C over what? B. This one will change to C over what? B. Remember, you have square. Everything all square. Plus, what is my cos theta in alphabet there? A over what? B. Everything will still have what? Square. I want to solve these things. Maybe my final answer will give me what? 1. Are you with me, student? At this point, you can open your bracket. DC will take his own square. B will take his own square. So definitely I should be having C square over what? B square. Plus, this one will still go again. A square over what? B square. You want to solve, maybe your final answer will give you what? 1. Student, at this point, you look for the what? The LCM. LCM of B square and B square is what? B square. You put your line. B square divided by B square is what? 1. Use that 1 to multiply the numerator. What's the numerator there? C square. You know, B square divided by B square is what? 1. 1 times C square gives you C square. Plus B square divided by B square again is what? 1. Use that 1 to multiply A square again. That should give me what? A square. I still want to solve. Maybe my answer will give me what? 1. Now, once you go to this side now, C square plus A square is what? Some of you now get confused that C square plus A square. C square plus A square. Just as if a teacher asking that X plus Y. Like if I should add X plus Y together, which is different from X plus X. We all know that X plus X gives us 2X. So when a teacher is now asking you X plus Y, you should know that it still remains as what? X plus Y. So you now have this thing now from the law of math. C square plus A square. You can add it together. So you now flash back that C square plus A square for you to know that all what we have on the marker board is well correct. C square plus A square, you come back. Come back to your Pythagoras what? Theorem. This is a C square plus what? A square. And this is a C square plus what? A square. So this C square plus A square is equals to what? B square. Are you with me now? C square plus A square is equals to what? B square. So you now change this C square plus A square back to what? B square. Over what you have done there? B square. Consider this B square cannot cancel this one and give you what? 1. So I've gotten my what? 1. That is why you see that all what we have on the marker board is well cleared. Are you with me now? Is well cleared. Now question 3. This one also says show that cot theta equals to what? Cos theta over sine theta. Cot theta says what? Show that cot theta equals to what? Cos theta over what? Sine theta. How do I solve this one? I can solve this question using 2 methods. This is your cot theta. Cot theta. This is cot theta. When you have cot theta, student, this is cos theta. What is your cos theta, student? What will be my cos theta? Cos theta is what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. I'll change this one back to what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. Remember, I told you that this sign means divider. I can put it like this, which is still the same thing. And what is your sine theta? Your sine theta is what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Just for those students. So final answer for cot theta will be what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. What will happen here? The value will change to what? Times. Hypotenuse go up a bit and opposite comes down. You know, this one cancel this one a bit. So my final answer for cot theta will be adjacent over what? Opposite. So what is my cot theta here now? Adjacent over what? Opposite. That means that, you know, remember that I went back, start using my soccer tool. But if I don't want to use my soccer tool, if I don't want to use soccer tool, is this question say I should use this one to get this one? Okay, this is your cot theta. What do you call your cot theta, student? 1 over what? Tan theta. 1 over tan theta. Abi? And from the first example I solved, remember, this is cot theta. 1 over, from the first example I proved that tan theta equals to sine theta over cos theta. That was the first example I proved to you, guys, that tan theta is equals to what? Sine over what? Cos. But remember that this cos theta is 1 over tan theta here. Now, this is a tan theta. What is your tan theta? You believe that when I see tan theta now, I can change it back to what? Sine over cos. That is why they now change this term back to what? Sine theta over cos theta. So your final answer will now be what? Cos theta. If I want to remove 1, which one go up? Cos theta over sine theta. So that is how they got it. I can use this one. I can use this. Mathematics is what? Straight. Very simple. Very, very what? Simple. So that is the third what? Example. Since you understand what they call the Pythagoras theorem, you understand what they call the SOHCAHTOA, you understand what they call the what? The inverse, and you understand the 3 examples solved. Let's solve a question. Assuming we're given this length, this as 3, we're given this as what? 4. We are not given this place as what? Y. The question now says, find the value of what? Of y from the what? From the diagram. Find the value of what? Y from the diagram. Now I decided to use the diagram. They said the length of this place is what? X. This place is what? 4. We should find what? Y. And we all know that this your y is your what? Your opposite. Sorry, your hypotenuse. Find the value of y. This one is your what? Hypotenuse. So y this one is your what? Your adjacent. And this one here is your what? Opposite. That means I'm looking for what? Hypotenuse. So if I'm looking for hypotenuse here, when you're given opposite and what? Adjacent. That means you go back and use your what? Your Pythagoras what? Theorem. Which says what? Hypotenuse square equals to what? Opposite square plus what? Adjacent square. What is my hypotenuse I'm looking for there? My hypotenuse I'm looking for there is what? Is y. So this one will now be what? Y square equals to, what's your opposite there, student? That should be 3 square plus, and your adjacent there should be what? 4 square. So finally, y square should be what? 3 square means 3 times 3, which is going to be what? 9 plus 4 square means 4 times 4, which is what? 16. So I can add it together, 9 plus 16, giving you what? 25. You can use the indices, which means y square. 25 can give me 5 square. Yes or no, student? Give you 5 square. So the power, we cancel power. That means 2 cancel 2. So my final answer for y is 5, which is your what? Your answer for this place, which is what? 5. Using your what? Your Pythagoras what? Theorem. Question 2. You're given maybe a diagram like this. You're given your angle as 30 degrees. And you're given this place. Let me say you're given this place as x. And you're given this place as 6. The question now says, find the value of x. If I'm to find the value of what? X. Remember, this your x, here is your what? Your hypotenuse. And this 60 remain your what? Your opposite. And you're given angle. This your angle is your what? Your theta. From the 3 formulas I gave to you under the SOHCAHTOA, remember, I gave you sine theta as what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. You look at the one that contain opposite and what? Hypotenuse, which is what? Your sine theta. You cannot go back and use sine theta equals to what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So which means my sine, this your theta is what? 30. Is 30 equals to, what is my opposite there, student? Opposite is what? Is 6. Are you with me now? Why hypotenuse you're looking for is what? Is what? Is x. You understand me? So in a nutshell, sine 30 gives you what? 0.5 or gives you what? 1 over 2, which is a value for what? Sine 30 gives you what? 1 over what? 1 over 2 equals to what? 6 over what? Over x. Are you with me? Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can cross multiply. That should be what? X sine 30 equals to what? 6. And you divide both sides by what? Sine 30 degree sine 30 degree. You know, this one cancel this one out, Abby. So that means my x should be what? 6 divided by what? Sine 30 is what? 1 over what? 2. So which means x will be what? 6. You know, this is divided by 1 over 2. This one is 2 over 1, Abby. So that means my x should be what? 6 divided into what? Times. Which one will go up? 2 over what? 1. So that means the answer there is what? 12. Are you with me now? Because the answer, you should know that your answer there must be larger than what? 6. So this place here is what? Is 12. So that is the second example. So identities. Yes, we're going to the JAMB level now. Identities. From these identities, we're going to what? JAMB level. Identities. Identities, we have 3 formulas for what? Identities. If you remember, I solved 3 questions here. There was a question I solved that showed that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals to what? 1. That is the first formula for what? Identities. The first formula for identities is what? Sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals to what? 1, which is the first formula for identities. If you remember, the second example I solved, I said sine squared theta, sine squared theta, sine squared theta, sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals to what? 1, which is the second formula I solved. So this is the first formula for identities. Is the first formula for identities. Now, I want to use this formula now to prove another 2 formulas into this word. I want to use this formula to prove another 2 formulas into this word. The first thing you have to do there, you divide through by sine square theta. What I ask you to do, you divide through by what? Sine square theta. So you now have something like this. Sine square theta divided by what? Sine square theta plus this one will also be what? Cos square theta divided by what? Sine square theta. And the last one will still be what? 1 divided by what? Sine square theta. You can see that I've divided through by what? Sine square theta. This is the first formula for identities. So I want to use this formula here to bring another 2 formulas into this word. If we can remember, this was the second example that I proved to get what? 1, which is the first formula for what? Identities. So I'm using that formula to bring another 2 formulas. So the first step I took is what? Divide through by what? Sine square theta. Which means this sine square theta can cancel this one a bit. So it will give me what? 1. It gives you what? 1. When this one gives you 1, you now add plus. You can see that this cos cannot cancel this sine. Cos cannot cancel sine. The third example that I solved that showed that cot theta equals to what? Cos over what? Sine. So you can see that this is the cos over sine now. And cos over sine will now give you what? Cot. You now change this cos over sine back to what? Cot. Is having what? Square theta. Are you with me? Everything equals to. This is your 1 over sine. If you go back to 1 over sine, in your inverse, after SOHCAHTOA, you know, I explain what they call inverse. Now go back to that inverse. What is 1 over sine in your inverse? 1 over sine is what? Cosec. And you now have what? Square theta. This is the second what? Formula. I've used this one to prove this. Remember, this is 1. That is 1 plus cos square theta equals to what? Cosec square theta. Are you with me now? Now let's bring this thing down again. Sine square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1 again. You know, this same formula, I use it to get this one a bit. I want to use this thing again to get another formula. So bring this thing down. Remember here, we divide through by what? Sine square theta. But here now, we now divide through by cos square theta. Here we divide through by sine square theta. But here now, we now divide through by what? Cos square theta. So this one will now have what? Sine square theta divided by what? Cos square theta plus, so this one will now be what? Cos square theta divided by what? Cos square theta equals to what? 1 over cos square theta. Are you with me, student? So from this place, you can see that sine cannot cancel cos. Since this sine cannot cancel cos, you go back to the first example. The first example that I solved, the first example